Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.
Finally from us this evening, technology on the cutting edge. We were interested today to hear that more than 100 law enforcement officials in Mexico are having microchips implanted in their arms. The chips allow a person to be scanned, sort of like a cereal box at the supermarket checkout. In Mexico, this will be one more tool in the fight against crime. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
A microchip inside the body. A hidden, high-tech identification tag.
They're the access codes to your job spot.
Now, Mexico's Attorney General and 160 of his deputies have had microchips implanted in their arms to control access to the country's new Criminal Investigation Center.
More now of our special coverage here tonight, life in the U.S. in 10 years' time. By that time, there may be all kinds of new ways to safeguard and identify all those things that make each of us unique, our faces, even our fingerprints, even our eyes. Here now with more on the future of technology, NBC's Tom Costello.
The year is 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there. Science fiction 20 years ago, but a biometric reality today. Researchers predict big changes for consumers.
I think it is possible to free us completely of our wallets and keys using biometric technology, if that's what people want in 10 years' time.
In fact, it's already here. The latest home security locks use fingerprints to control deadbolts. And at the Jewel Osco grocery store in Chicago, some customers pay using their fingerprints. No paper or plastic.
You don't really need anything other than your hand, and you already got that with you.
So will future department stores scan our irises, like in the movie Minority Report, then offer products catered to who we are?
Hello, Mr. Yakamoto. Welcome back to the gas.
Experts say that technology is here now. The challenge is to safeguard our privacy in a brave new world.
Those to yourself. Are you forgetful about taking your medications? A new microchip is being developed to help doctors tell if you've taken your pills and see how they're working or if they're not working. It has digital sensors that work by activating this electric charge when the drugs are digested by your stomach, and then the date and time is recorded and can also measure your heart rate and breathing patterns. Pretty cool, huh? Well, the info is transmitted to the patient and doctor's cell phones. And this, of course, would be useful for psychiatric and elderly patients, or even as a reminder for women taking the birth control pill. Two major drug companies are considering this microchip, still in early stages of development.
In medical news tonight, a chip the size of a grain of rice could save your life.
7's on call with Dr. Jay Adlersberg. Jay?
Shade, Diana, what happens if you're in a bad accident and can't communicate with emergency workers and doctors? New microchip technology now makes it possible for the emergency room staff to find out about your medical history at the touch of a computer key. In an emergency room, a split-second decision can mean the difference between life and death.
So many emergency physicians have to operate blind. We have to make medical decisions not knowing what medicines you take or what allergies you have.
Hi, Dr. Hamaka. We're going to check your scan today, okay?
Harvard Dr. John Halapka says this radio frequency identification chip may solve that problem. He had it implanted in his right upper arm.
Cash to pay for all these transactions, or we have to whip out our bank card and use the chip and PIN. What would you say if you could pay for all these things by simply touching a card to a reader? From September, major banks, including HSBC and Halifax, will be issuing bank cards which allow you to do that. Will your pennies be quite as safe as if they were in your pocket? Well, Ron Del Novo is Managing Director of Bank Machine. He joins me now. Ron, just explain how this would work. Would it actually come from, would it be a top-up system, or would it actually come straight out of your account?
No, it would be reissue of all debit cards in the country, basically. There are about 70 million debit cards, and all of them would be reissued with this facility.
But there would be some kind of limit on how much you could spend on each transaction?
Well, to start with, they're talking about £10, but already there are financial services conferences taking place where they're debating, can this be increased to perhaps £75 without the use of a PIN?
Now, It's obviously a security problem. A security problem? Is there a problem?
Well, it's a little bizarre, isn't it? Because the banks have spent years convincing us that we had to stop just handing our credit card over and signing, that it was desperately necessary.
Now, when was the last time you went to a shop and paid by cheque? Well, it's probably quite a while ago, as many high street stores will no longer accept them. Well, now banking experts are predicting that cash may be about to go the same way. But how will we pay for things like a cup of coffee if we don't have a pocketful of loose change?